Welcome to part 3 of our Downtown New Bern tour. I know it has been a minute, but we are here. We are finally doing part 3. In this video, we're going to take a tour of East Front Street and Pollock Street. Let's go ahead and get started. What's up, everybody? This is Ray Copeland with sellingnorthcarolina.com. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about New Bern, North Carolina, then don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon. That way you'll be notified every time we drop a new video. We get calls, texts, emails every week from people just like you that are thinking about moving here to the New Bern area. So if that sounds like you and you need some help, don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got you back when moving to New Bern, North Carolina. Okay, so here we are in downtown New Bern on this beautiful day. Man, it cannot get any better than this. So like I said, we're gonna be covering East Front Street, which is this street right out here, going all the way down. Then we're gonna hang a left and we're gonna tour Pollock Street. But if you remember, like I said, I have broken down this downtown New Bern tour into different sections, different parts. So be sure to go back and watch part 1, watch part 2. This is part 3, this is the final part. So as you remember, here is South Front Street right here where the convention center is at. We did that in video number 1 where we covered Union Point Park right over there. And we also covered South Front Street. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take a tour and go ahead and make sure I step out on East Front Street. We're gonna tour that. So you can get to Union Point Park by East Front Street. And so East Front Street as well goes over the drawbridge right there, and I'll give you another good look when we get out there. But let me go ahead and step out. I'm in a parking lot right now. I was gonna do my intro on the sidewalk, but with all the cars, it was actually pretty noisy. And so while we're walking over here out to the sidewalk of East Front Street, I just want everyone to know, look, you know today is a great day when the Charburger is here. If you've never had the Charburger, please make sure you follow them on Facebook, follow them on all the socials. They have an excellent burger. It is so good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, after I finish filming this tour, I'm coming straight back here and I am getting a Charburger. And as you can see here, they're set up in the parking lot of Franklin's Antiques, Vintage and Home. Really cool stuff in there. If you're ever visiting New Bern, you gotta check out Franklin's. So let's go ahead and make our way out here to East Front Street. Okay, so here we are. East Front Street. This is it right here. This is East Front Street. Take a look down that way. We'll take a look down this way. As you can see here, everyone, if you go straight, you'll make your way to the drawbridge right there. Like I said, there's the convention center over there. And then hang a left at that light right there. There is Union Point Park. You can check that out, and you can check out South Front Street on part 1 of this Downtown New Bern tour. So I'm gonna go ahead and pan this way and walk around. Like I said, there is Franklin's Antiques, Vintage and Home, the Charburger. Looks so good, I cannot wait. You can see here, off here to the right is the Courtyard by Marriott. It's on the water. And so we'll go ahead and keep walking down this way. Okay, so on this tour, I'm not gonna be able to walk this whole thing because that video would be super long and there would be probably some dead spots in there to where I wouldn't really have much to talk about. So this tour, there's gonna be a combination of me walking and also I'll be in my truck. Pollock Street, once we get on Pollock Street, it is super long. It's a super long street, a lot to cover on Pollock Street. So definitely will be a mixture of me walking on Pollock Street as well as driving in my truck. But as you can see here, we've walked down East Front Street, looking back that way towards Franklin's and Union Point Park and the drawbridge. Let me pan around here. So you got some apartment buildings, some businesses on East Front Street. And East Front Street keeps going around. If you can look down there at the very end, there's a roundabout where once you take that roundabout, you can actually make your way on Broad Street. But if I turn to the right here, you'll see there is the gas station, and behind that gas station is Persimmon's restaurant. Really nice restaurant. It's behind that gas station. It's a beautiful restaurant on the water. It's actually where I proposed to my beautiful wife at. So if you're ever in New Bern, please check out Persimmon's. Great food, great environment. Now you can see here, so we're at the intersection of East Front Street and Pollock Street. Excuse the noise here. So like I said, you can keep going around the roundabout, and East Front Street keeps going around a little bit, and it'll take you into a community of historic homes, a historic community, or you can actually circle around that roundabout and it'll take a left onto Broad Street. I'll do one more pan of East Front Street. The East Front Street tour was pretty quick, and so that's pretty much it with East Front Street. Now we're gonna make our way down Pollock Street. A lot to cover on Pollock Street, a lot to cover. Pollock Street's very beautiful. It's got a lot going on. So let me see here real quick. I think it's best, they're doing some construction up there. So we're gonna go ahead and cross the street, and we're coming up on Michael's Pub and Patio, another popular place here in downtown New Bern. Suggest you check that out if you ever visit. So there's a mixture here on Pollock Street. Here we go. There's a mixture here on Pollock Street of some businesses, some antique homes, there's some bed and breakfasts. As well as we get further down, there'll be some shops, as well as you'll see Christ Episcopal Church coming up here, which we did cover that on one of our other videos. But I'm just, you can pan around here. This is the look of Pollock Street right here. This is the Meadows Inn. It's another popular bed and breakfast here in New Bern. So if you're looking for a bed and breakfast, highly suggest that you check out Meadows Inn. There is going to be a handful of bed and breakfasts that we will cover, and that is one of them. Look at that, they're redoing that building over there. It's the good thing about downtown New Bern. Someone's always doing something to make it better, and that's what we love to see. All right, so coming up here, we got the Hannah House Bed and Breakfast, another popular bed and breakfast, very beautiful. Put that on your list if you're visiting. And then off to the other side of the street, you got the Benjamin Ellis House, which is another bed and breakfast. I mean, you got options. You got options for days when it comes to bed and breakfasts. You know, if you can't make up your mind, stay at all of them. You know, that's the best thing to do, stay at all of them. Then right here, you got the Jarvis House, very popular historic place. The Jarvis at 220, it's a wedding and event venue. So if that's something that you're looking into, don't forget the Jarvis. Then coming over here, I mean, just look at these historic homes. I mean, just so beautiful. I mean, I grew up here my whole life, and it never gets old to me. That right there is called the Cub House, where the public works truck is in front of. So if you're walking around downtown New Bern, you need to use the restroom. They actually built that a few years ago. Very nice and clean inside. You can stop in there or get some air conditioning. Also use the restroom while you're at it. Right here on Pollock Street, we got the Craven County Tax Department, Register of Deeds. Happy Tax Day, if that's a thing. All right, so now what we're doing, since we're on Pollock Street, we're coming up to the intersection of Craven and Pollock Street. And you remember in in part 2 of the Downtown New Bern tour, we covered Craven and Middle Street. And so now we're gonna stay on Pollock Street, which you'll see City Hall. And then also there's some businesses all on to the left and right of Pollock Street. So we're gonna take a look at that as we get up here. Let me make sure I cross this road without getting hit. And if you're watching this video, you know I made it safely. All right, so as you can see here, you got Kuma Sushi Bar, you got the Rivertown Ballroom, City Hall here on the right. Off to the left over there, you got Branch's Furniture. Another one of my favorite restaurants is Poppy's Bites and Barrels, which is right over there. Off to the right here is Christ Episcopal Church, and here's beautiful thing about Christ Episcopal Church, excuse me, is they have this playground that is open to the public, and it's just a really nice playground. We bring our kids here all the time. I mean, who doesn't want to come to downtown New Bern? You have a nice playground to stop by, let your kids hang out and play. Enjoy this beautiful weather. My gosh, the weather is beautiful today. I could not have asked for a better day to make this tour for y'all. Okay, so coming up here, we're getting ready to come onto the entrance to Christ Episcopal Church. Over there, you got some art gallery. You got the, I don't know if that's actually an art gallery. It's a store. It's Carolina Creations Gallery. And I actually have not been in there. So if you're here, check it out. As you can see here, we're at the entrance of the Christ Episcopal Church. I mean, just look at the architecture of this church. Founded in 1715. Look at these trees, look at the moss. It's just so beautiful. Hear the birds. And straight ahead here, you'll see the fountain. It's a very popular place where people take pictures. If you cut through this alley right here, you'll be in between Craven and Middle Street. And so definitely a shortcut if you're ever in New Bern visiting. Off to the left right here, it's one of our newer businesses, Baxter's 1892. Very cool place. Go in there, you can get you some drinks. They have live music all the time. They got food. Very awesome place. Highly suggest that you check that out. And so you can see Christ Episcopal Church, their area, I mean, it covers pretty much a whole block almost, but just very beautiful. So now we're coming up on the intersection of Pollock Street and Middle Street. So like I said before, if you've not gone and watched part 1 and part 2 of the Downtown New Bern tour, I highly suggest that you check that out. So here is the intersection of Middle and East Pollock. Not East Pollock, I apologize. Here's the intersection of Middle and Pollock Street. So we're gonna go ahead and cross the road here. All right, so we're still heading down Pollock Street. Right here, excuse me. Right here you got the New Bern Civic Theater, which is on 414 Pollock Street. Off right here, up to the right, you got an attorney's office. Now we're coming up on the intersection of Pollock Street and Hancock Street. In one of the videos, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first video I talked about the railroad and the train. It comes down Hancock Street. And as you can see here, it goes all the way down. And if you go back to the first video, I show you where, by the farmer's market, where the train goes and makes its way across the river. So I'll just pan around here so you can see the intersection of Hancock and Pollock Street. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna finish the tour down Pollock Street, but I'm actually gonna get into my truck because it goes a long ways down there and I wanna make sure I show y'all everything. So I'll pick it back up once I get to my truck. Okay, so in my truck now, Let me turn down that AC so it's not blowing into the microphone. Hey, real quick before we continued, I actually came all the way back up Pollock Street. Wanted to just take a quick drive back here so you could see the, first of all, the beautiful river views today. Just gorgeous. You can see the bridge out there going over the river. I'm just going to turn through here. So when I was talking about Persimmon's waterfront restaurant, that is Persimmon's right there. Very gorgeous restaurant, great food. It's on the water. You just can't beat it. So in New Bern, you're visiting, come check out Persimmon's waterfront restaurant. You cannot go wrong. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to come back out here. Let's see here. Make my way back out to East Front Street. Then I'm going to hang a right on Pollock, and I will pick you back up once I'm on Pollock Street. Okay, so we are back on Pollock Street now. Just going to do a quick drive down to where we left off. Let's go ahead and roll the windows down on this beautiful day. 12 o'clock. I can hear those bells. All right. Those bells that you are hearing, they are the Christ Episcopal Church bells, which is right there. All right, so here we are. We are at the intersection of Pollock and Hancock Street. This is where we left off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue straight onto Pollock Street so we can finish this tour. I'm going to get out when I get a little further up here, but just kind of just wanted to show you a few things. Obviously, there's some businesses once you get to this part of Pollock Street on the left and the right. Right there is the Airy Bed and Breakfast, really popular bed and breakfast area. Okay, so back on the sidewalk of Pollock Street, and just so you kind of know where I'm at, there is the Airy Bed and Breakfast across the street right there. So I'm just going to pan back around this way. We're coming up on the intersection of Pollock and Metcalf Street. You can see here. Now I will give a quick shout out, although I'm not covering Metcalf in this tour, but right there you can see Savage's Wood Burning Pizzeria. Really great restaurant. Suggest that you check that out if you're visiting New Bern. So I'm going to go ahead and cross the street. Just take a look at this. At these beautiful historic homes. I mean, they've just been so well maintained. The sidewalks have been maintained. The landscaping is beautiful. Just kind of give a pan around so you can see what this looks like. So we're coming up on the famous Tryon Palace. So Tryon Palace is at the intersection of Pollock and George Street. But there is Tryon Palace. I'm gonna see if I can get a tour of that one day. I don't actually think they allow it. So that's my guess, because you have to have tickets before you go into that gate. So here's the intersection at George and Pollock Street. Just a lot of history down here, a lot of historic homes. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not covering anything remotely close to the history that's down here. But I do suggest, if you ever visit New Bern, they have historic tours. I suggest that you check that out. Go on a tour of Tryon Palace. You can learn a whole lot more on the history side than you would learn from me. I'm just trying to give you a lay of the land. If you've never been to New Bern before, what to expect if you're planning on coming, or if you're thinking about moving here. So one more pan around here. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get back into my truck, and then we're gonna continue finishing going down Pollock Street. There's a few more areas that I wanna touch, and we'll finish this out in my truck, and then we'll probably close out this video. So I will see you in just a second. All right, so here we are. We're turning back onto Pollock Street. I'm gonna finish this tour. We only got a little bit to cover. I'm gonna finish this out driving. So here we are at the intersection of Pollock and George Street, where we just were on the sidewalk. Off to the left right there, you can see Tryon Palace. Some people are actually, they have tours today. I mean, I don't blame them. It's just such a gorgeous day outside today. It's the perfect day to be walking out and doing things downtown. Well, I'll go ahead and put my seatbelt on. Okay. So as you can see here, there's still a lot of history. Oh, there's a Savis wine shop, a very popular wine store here in downtown New Bern. Almost missed that. And I hope I actually pronounced that right. And if I didn't, I apologize. So continuing down Pollock Street. There's one area that I want to cover real quick that has gained a whole lot of popularity over the past couple years. Okay, so we've already passed Tryon Palace. We're a block over at the intersection of Pollock and Fleet Street. And I wanted to stop in this area to show you. This is what people refer to as Beer District, Beer Alley. I think most people refer to it as Beer District. We have a few breweries and bars in this area that have gained popularity over the past couple years. So off to the right here, we have Freshwater Beer Company. And this is their establishment right here. And then across the street over here, there is another bar, and they just started serving food here. This is called Tap That, and that is their establishment over there. They have a lot of hangout areas outside, as you can see. Make sure you get a good look at that over there. And then I'll pan back around right here. You can see Freshwater. Just pan around so you can see the neighborhood right here. And then there's one more brewery up here that's part of the beer district. It's actually a little bit up here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably just gonna fast forward this video, and then I will pick it back up. Oh, before I do that, as you can see here, there is Bern City Cigars right here. So if you need a good cigar, there's a place you can stop. Okay, so here we are at Brewery 99. This is going to be the last stop of what's referred to as Beer District or Beer Alley. And Brewery 99, they actually used to be on the other side of this barber shop. And then not too long ago, They built their new establishment right here. It looks, it's a very beautiful building. They did a great job building this out. So this is Brewery 99 right here on Pollock Street. And across the street you have Black's Tire and Auto, been around for a while. So that concludes the Downtown New Bern tour. I really hope you enjoyed this video and also the whole series in itself. Look, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Leave a comment down below what you thought about this video, or if you have any questions that you want to put down in the comment section. I do my absolute best to try to answer every single one of them. And look, if you're thinking about moving to the New Bern area, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to New Bern, North Carolina. And until the next video, take care.